Hello and welcome to the Audio Dad Chronicles. I'm Shale, and today we're going to dive back into the music of Bad Omens. This is Impose. So after my first dive into Bad Omens with Spectre, I just had to get right back into it again. That song just completely blew me away, and that video was some serious next level art. So let's not waste any time at all on getting into this one. Took a quick peek at the lyrics just to get a vibe for what the song's going to be about, and I think the general consensus is it explores themes of intense anxiety, imposter syndrome, and self-isolation, painting a picture of someone trapped in a prison of bone and pushing people away. That sounds very relatable. Definitely experienced moments of intense anxiety and imposter syndrome myself throughout my life. So anyways, let's just dive straight into this. Let's pull this on up and explore Bad Omens Impose. As Saturn makes an appearance. Say hi, Saturn. He wants to play bass, apparently.
Justify too deep in my head again. Won't let nobody in, no matter how hard they lie. And I go sit alone in a prison made of bone. Oh, I hate it, but it's home for me. In every place I'm on my toes, and still I feel like I impose. It's okay to let me go if you need. What's it say about me?
Whoa, now there's a stylistic switch I wasn't anticipating. One moment, my cat is climbing the wall. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
So this is Saturn, and he's in a mood. We're going to do our best to get through this video, but we might have to take a minute to stop and play with him and burn off some energy first, because he's got some serious black cat energy. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow, my dude. We're pausing the video.
Moments later.
Well, there's no guarantee that's going to be the end of that. He may still appear in the background. He may still jump on my lap and go feral on my hands, because that's just the black cat energy that Saturn possesses. Moments ago, I noticed my microphone and camera just about to start to move, and behind the camera is a fabric wall for soundproofing purposes, and he decided to climb it, and then all heck broke loose after that. And well, it's been about 15 minutes since you've seen me last, and I got to catch my breath a little. I've kind of lost my place on where the song was. So why don't we just start that over, pick it up from the beginning, and hopefully Mr. Can't quite see him from here, but he is right behind me on the ground, crashed out, recovering as well. So let's back this up, start over, get back in the zone, shall we?
I'm losing my leverage, all of the evidence that I'm not justified. Too deep in my head again. Won't let nobody in, no matter how hard they lie. And I go sit alone in a prison made of bone. Oh, I hate it, but it's home for me. In every place I'm on my toes, and still I feel like I impose. It's okay to let me go if you need. What's it say about me if I run away without you when I fall asleep? And
There it is. Excuse me. So first initial impressions, a little more autotune than I thought I would experience. Not that it's a bad thing, autotune, especially as an intentional effect, it certainly can be used for artistic and creative purposes. Just always a little taken aback when you hear it in situations that you might not always expect it. And in quote-unquote metal type alternative rock band, you don't always expect to hear it. So it's interesting when you do. And then to break into this almost, I'm bad with my musical genres, especially on the drum and bass side, jungle-ish side, but I guess I hate making those comparisons, but we are seeing the sleep token effect in music, where the lines are blurring between pop, metal, rock, and R&B. Cool. Interesting. Let's back this up a touch. Let it come back into that section and play through. Love the falsetto. He's got a good voice. He doesn't need the auto-tune.
What's it say about me if I run away without you when I fall asleep? And in your head I'm always gonna stay. What's it say about me if I never change and I push everyone away? On borrowed time, you know I can't repay.
Like the haunting piano. I will acknowledge Bad Omens is a band that, I've only heard now listening to the second song ever, and I know that they've been climbing the ranks, climbing the charts, see their name on a lot of larger festivals in headlining or near headlining positions, and often paired off, in similar festivals as heavier bands. Whether it be Sleep Token or Korn or things like that. I definitely seen their name a lot. And like I say, in the higher up echelons. So clearly they're a band that is on the rise and is on the top of their genre. So who are they? Seems like a weird question. I just me, being the roadie, being the rock and metal punk musician, my automatic instincts when I hear and think of metal bands is your atypical lineup, guitar, bass, drums, vocalist, sometimes keyboardist. Clearly, it sounds like they've got a lot of that vibe into their music. But delving into the R&B and a lot of these sounds and with the auto-tune, not always, at least in the music that I've listened to so far, not really hearing that heavy contact. So am I just picking the wrong songs and these are some more of their mellower ones? There's almost no guitar at all in this, no bass at all. It's drums, it's piano. It's not a bad thing. It's different. So it's really interesting to me. But, like I said, the limited slice that I've had so far. But to see artists that are pushing these genre boundaries, being in festivals and heavier music and referenced in these heavier circles with these other bands, but they don't even sound remotely heavy, at least so far when I've heard. It's intriguing. It just means I need to hear more. I dig it though, great beat. Here we go, here we go.
What's it say about me if I run away without you when I fall asleep? And in your head,
And again, to bring it back around to that live context, because like I say, that's really my only real reference for them, is having seen them in festival and big ticket type environments for rock and metal bands. when they play live? How would they pull off something like this? Would it really just be on stage, very stripped down, a keyboardist kind of pulling in that orchestration, maybe backing track, with the drummer who, comes in over a drum machine? Just really has me curious. I almost wonder if I should be checking out a live song from them next. What do y'all say? What should it be? Should I be looking for another music video? It doesn't have to be a heavier song, but I'm certainly intrigued to get the context of why they come up in those circles. Should I look for a live song? Should it be a studio song? Another very cool artistic type vision like Spectre or this? Let me know in the comments. Where should I go from here? Because I genuinely want to know.
Always gonna stay. What's it say about me if I never change? And I push everyone away. On borrowed time, you know I can't repay. And I go sit alone in a place that made of bone. And every place down on my toes, but still I feel like I am both.
This definitely strikes me as, sorry for stopping, it's one of those things that YouTube makes us do. I really almost just kind of want to take this in and watch it front to back, but YouTube rules says if we don't pause it at least a couple of times throughout the video, it just makes our lives even harder with copyright and all that funkiness, because we're not adding enough of our own personal content to it throughout the course of it, let alone the beginning and the end. So anyway, just genuinely curious how this band, how they come about. Like, even in the studio, they're very. I'm not saying they're a studio band, but they definitely make good use of the studio, putting a lot of those extra layers and orchestration in. Keyboards. There's like the mix is very dense, but it's so dense it's almost like what's even going on. It's just this wash of beauty. It's really intriguing, really interesting to hear bands like this pursuing and pushing artistic boundaries through a sonic palette that breaks the convention that I and people like me are maybe accustomed with hearing, like I say, with guitar, bass, drums, etc. It's really cool. It's great to see artists like Sleep Token and Bad Omens breaking down those genres, just doing their own thing and not following those traditional tropes and just making good music. That's awesome. I like this. Is that it? That to me strikes me as one of those moments where you'd expect almost a drop, a big, whether it's be a big build-up or a bit of a crescendo and down, and then it's going to get dramatic, and then the song ended. But I note that there is a minute left, or almost a minute left. So we're going to let that play just a little bit more, because heaven forbid I miss some of the song. Could just be credits. Well, let's find out. Where are we going from here?
Ko zaspim, zbežim, a brez tebe. Še zmeraj si v sanjah, a ne mojih. Idealiziram tebe in življenje, a ti ne držiš tempa. Nihče ga nikoli ne more. Ampak zabava je skoraj pri koncu. Ničemur ni več moč ubežati. Nikomur ni več moč ubežati. Sem prevara.
Okay. So it was just kind of an outro, epilogue credit type of an opportunity with one of the characters, presumably from the video, doing a little bit of speaking. Not sure what language that was, and then suddenly makes me go, where are Bad Omens from? I mean, my automatic assumption was that they were an American band, but maybe not. Must look into this. Make my life easy, would you? Fill me in. Give me the short version. Where are they from? I did notice in the video when the characters were coming out of a subway that the name above it, like the station name or something, was maybe Polish? Uncertain exactly, but it definitely wasn't in English. At least it didn't appear to be. The mystery continues. I am certainly intrigued, which was what I wanted. I was looking for something new, something different, wanted to expand my musical horizons and palette, and a band like Bad Omens is most certainly doing that. Very, very cool. I'm glad I took this little journey, and I appreciate you all for coming along for the ride, and I hope to see you all again. Peace, love, and empathy to you all. Good night.